The Rivers State local government elections have come and gone, but the dust is far from settled. Despite the swearing-in of the council chairman yesterday, former Vice President Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and Labour Party's Peter Obi have called the polls a travesty and a mockery of democracy. But the Minister of the FCT and former Rivers Governor Nyesom Wike isn't having it. He's fired back, defending the legality of the elections and accusing both men of ignorance and hypocrisy.
We cannot influence what happens in other local government. He can only influence what happens in his own local government. That the people in those local government are those to choose where to go to. And I've agreed to that. And I've influenced, campaigned for my people, vote for PDP. And my people have voted for PDP in my local government. Now you're angry that ABC won. No, listen. You're angry that ABC won in the local government, which means, why did I not extend the influence I didn't have? You should know what is happening. Are people happy with what is happening in PDP? Can we have parties that are contesting this election? What are their candidates' names in the local
This comes in as the Rivers Emancipation Movement, REM, also rejected the charade conducted by the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, RSIEC, on August the 30th, 2025, and strongly condemns the outcome of what has been falsely paraded as a local government election. Process, they say, was neither democratic nor credible. RSIEC's activities failed every test of transparency, fairness, and accountability, says the group. Now, join us this morning for this discussions are development advocate and national president, Rivers Emancipation Movement, Zoe Tamunotonye, and a PDP member, Collins Ordu. A warm welcome to you, gentlemen, and thanks for joining us on Breakfast Central.
Good morning, Nigerians.
Now, I'd like to...
And thanks for having me.
Good morning. Now, I'd like to start with Mr. Tamunotonye. Why, as your group, REM, taking this position? How would you describe the conduct of last Saturday's elections in Rivers State?
All right, thank you very much for having me this morning. I want to answer your question with a thought I want to express, and that is democracy died in Rivers State on October 2023 after the former governor, now FCT Minister, Chief Barrister Nyesom Wike, with due respect, came to the States and announced in a church, on a pulpit, he announced that he was going to make Rivers State ungovernable. And ever since he made that statement in 2023, Rivers State have remained ungovernable and progressed in authoritarianism. Its service of song was held on the 28th of February by the Supreme Court. And then democracy was, the interment was finally held on August 30th, 2025, last Saturday. This is the least I can describe the state of democracy in Rivers State. As I speak to you today, what we have in Rivers State is total military and dictatorship regime. Democracy has been set aside. Now, to answer your question on the election that was held last Saturday, you call it an election. I call it a sham selection. It totally violates anything that has to do with election, the Electoral Act, the Constitution, and any democratic norms. Don't take me by my words. The evidence are there everywhere in the social media, where the so-called RSIEC officials were celebrating with the so-called winners they announced, where RSIEC officials were thumbprinting ballot papers. It's there, it's not my own this thing making. The evidence are everywhere in the social media. Thumbprinting ballot papers for candidates of their interests. Tell me, how can you categorize this to be an election where it is only 2 political parties among all the political parties in Rivers State. 2 political parties where one man, the minister, is in charge of the both parties. You have candidates who go into the party primaries with an PDP primaries, and they come out with APC nomination. You can see how the so-called RSIEC announced the election. They only announce winners without giving us detail. In a democracy, in an election, you will give details of the scores of each party, each candidate, give a breakdown and show the winner, the second runner, and all the rest, because these are matters that can also be litigated in court. But because you see that it's a stage-managed, arranged election, the Michael Oji, quite unfortunate that somebody of his caliber is taking this kind of evil responsibility against Rivers people. He went ahead to announce selected people as winners of that charade they called election. So it's quite unfortunate. It fails to meet every standard. Section 7 of the 1999 Constitution clearly stated that local government, democratically elected local government councils are guaranteed. Section 197 and 198 clearly stated that only an elected governor can constitute a state independent electoral commission subject to the State House of Assembly. Only such body can conduct local government election. So anything that is done outside within the confines of the Constitution is illegal, null and void. So to begin with, ab initio, the so-called RSIEC does not have the legality to conduct any election, not to talk of the charade that was carried out last Saturday. So that is why the Rivers Emancipation Movement has taken that position you just announced. We gave a press statement yesterday declaring the election null and void. And at the appropriate time, Rivers people will take their mandate back from these dictatorial-minded people, from these self-seeking interest people that have besieged Rivers State.
Clarify, and it's important that we say this. At the beginning of your response, you had made mention of the fact that you said that the Honorable Minister said that he would make Rivers State ungovernable. And I want us to clarify that, because whilst it's important for your party to choose whatever side of the divide that they want, we do not want them to misquote. I do not recall any time that the Honorable Minister said he will make Rivers State ungovernable. What I do recall, however, is when he talked about setting fire to states of anyone who would, the governors of any state who would maybe force the Rivers State governor to maybe dismantle his structure. But I just wanted to, quickly clarify that we're not certain, and we do not want any misquoting to happen unless you can categorically tell us where and when that was said. But I want to bring in Honorable Ordu to respond to what you said, as well as talk to us about his thoughts about the local government elections.
Thank you, my sister. You see, if you were not very conversant, this is the way they churn out lies in Rivers State. For a man to come to a national television to tell lies is quite unfortunate. But that's been the case. Let me forget about that and move on to respond to other areas where he mentioned. He said, if I got him right, that democracy died in Rivers State after the October 5th, 2024 election. I cannot but agree with him on that, because the Supreme Court equally confirmed that. And the August 30th local government elections has re-established and repaired what the October 5th election did. And then secondly, that he was going to work. The one of making Rivers State ungovernable, I've handled that. The Honorable Minister of the FCT, His Excellency Nyesom Wike, never at any time stated this. Even the statement was made by a Nigerian who I think is in his widest hallucination is thinking that he's Right Honorable or former Governor Nyesom Wike Then another one, he talked about thumb printing and electoral officers being jubilant about winnings. I don't think we should be mindful of little things. Let's face facts and not little things. Whether they are RSIEC officers or not, they are Rivers people, and they have the right to express that which God has given them, and you cannot deny them from that. I don't want to go into that. Then the other one, he said the members of parties resort belonging to, we're not showing detail, that when RSIEC announced the results, that they never showed details. My brother here would recall that that pronunciation or the announcement of results was not aired live. Assuming it was a national election, it would have been aired live. All of what he said, he was not in the room. There is no way an election result, the returning officer, I'm sure he's not conversant with elections. There's no way a returning officer will come to announce to the RSIEC chairman or the RSIEC board that he will not state from A to Z how he arrived at his result sheet. So let's forget all of these and go to the main issue, which is what you said about our former governor and leader, His Excellency Wike, defending the polls and rejecting what Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi said. Let me go into that. Peter Obi, if I recall what our leader said, he said that Peter Obi, in the whole of his 8 years, conducted local government elections 2 months to his to the end of his tenure. His first tenure has ended. Into his second tenure, it was 2 months to the end of his 8 years that he conducted local government election. Based on this, he said His Excellency Peter Obi lacked the temerity to speak on local government issues. Then Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, he said that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar supported our governor, Governor Similaye Fubara, when he refused to obey the court orders of the Federal High Court, which barred him from conducting the local government elections. And Alhaji Atiku Abubakar supported him to disobey the court order. And based on that he lacks the temerity, the morals to speak on this local government election. I cannot but agree with him 200% on all of these views.
All right.
Yeah, just to follow up on some of your the things you say, staying with you, Honorable Ordu, you said the allegations, it's not just Mr. Tamunotonye that raised it. A lot of electoral observers and Nigerians across all walks of life saw those videos emanate from social media of thumb printing, of the jubilations, RSIEC electoral umpires, and they should be seen as non-partisan. That's the democratic standard and norm everywhere in the world. But when you say these are little things, it questions the integrity of the elections. But let me just ask you directly, what's your assessment of RSIEC's performance as the electoral umpire in last Saturday's elections? Do you think they performed well, or they fell short of democratic standards?
I will give them 100% in that election. I voted in that election. So the reason why I said that we should forget those things is because I didn't want us to waste our time. You see, such clips have for a long time been surfacing after elections. When I started disregarding social media clips and all of that, was in this country when a particular woman sent out a voice or an audio claiming that her husband flew late President Muhammadu Buhari and late Abubakar to Germany for treatment. I am sure you heard that audio then. And all of that was lies, total lies, that a woman will claim that her own husband did so. And it turned out that even Alhaji, this chief of staff to the president, Abubakar, was never ever taken out of the country. He was in Lagos. So to that extent, I don't believe all of that. Like I told you, I voted, and we waited till these people took their results to the RSIEC office and did the announcements. So all of those clips you're seeing are naysayers who want to justify whatever they have believed in.
News Central had correspondents in Rivers State. We covered the elections extensively. We spoke to a cross-section of people who also agree that, you know, the RSIEC fell short of democratic standards. But in your opinion, you feel they performed 100%?
I said they performed 100%. Okay. If your correspondents actually were there, let them give us the clips they took of those storm printing. I'm telling you that these are videos they recycle at every point in time when elections are conducted.
All right. Let's also speak with Mr. Tamunotonye regarding the elections. Part of the reports we've heard are about the low voter turnout. We hear that there weren't as many people, and we don't know what your thoughts are regarding the number of people and the mindset that you've heard from the people of Rivers State regarding the results of the elections. How do you think, or how do you believe, and I'm not talking just about your organization, but how do you believe that general populace in Rivers State have received the results of these elections? They were swearing in yesterday by the sole administrator, Vice Admiral Iba. So would you say that Rivers State is now looking up, moving forward, and excited about the potential return or the upcoming return of the governor of the state?
Okay, thank you very much. Before I respond to your question directly, let me react to my brother that is here with us. One of the things he has said. First, I will say that, you know, in my local parlance, there is a proverb in my local parlance where they say, when a man has lost shame and conscience, he goes out like a dog who even meets with his mother on the streets. That is what is happening in Rivers State. That's what some section of some people in Rivers State are doing. Let me correct one of the impression he gave. When I said democracy died in October, I'm not referring to October 5th or 8th of 2024. I'm referring to 2023, when this crisis started, the bringing down of the Rivers State House of Assembly, the attempt to impeach the governor. Again, I didn't know that you are not aware that that statement, the one you are aware of, was the national broadcast the minister made when he said fire for fire. It's there, it's just Google, you will see it. He came to Rivers State in a church, in a pulpit. He announced that he was not going to, he was warning the governor. The governor was in that church service. He said, I may not win the war, but I'm going to make Rivers State ungovernable so that by the end they will know that you have not done anything for the people. These are his statements. I may be paraphrasing, but this was what the former governor said. And in pursuant of that, he uses his House of Assembly members. All of you saw how the 27 House of Assembly members make governance ungovernable for the governor. So that is to clear that. Now, to some of the issue he raised, that he said we should look at them as small matters. No matter is small in an election. For example, the Electoral Act declared that you must give 90 days to political parties to prepare for an election. The electoral umpire reduced it to 30 days. It's not a small matter. There are videos online, which I believe my brother here have also seen, and yet he's showing a blind eye that those videos do not exist, where electoral officers are thumbprinting ballot papers for their preferred candidates. You see, the problem with this kind of thing is that today, evil benefits you and you're supporting it. Tomorrow, it may turn around. But to answer your question directly, let me tell you categorically, not just my organization that represents the interests of Rivers people. Rivers people in general never participated. Majority never participated in this election. I was an observer on Saturday. I moved from place to place. You could see electoral officers, because there are no electorates. They were playing balls, they were eating bread and akara everywhere in their vehicle. That was what they did. Now, in an election where election results are supposed to be declared from the unit to the ward to the coalition center, there was an instruction that no result should be announced anywhere until they come to the commission's office. That was what happened. So Rivers people never participated, apart from those who have interest to make this process to come to pass, so that they hijack power in Rivers State undemocratically. Rivers people never came out to participate. It's obvious thing. There is social media. You see, thank God your people were on ground. The old polling units were deserted. There were no electoral, voters, and so on and so forth. So you can imagine, where did they concord those number of votes they allocated to their preferred candidate? So Rivers people are not just moving on. We are watching, we are mobilizing, because the political class on both sides has failed Rivers people. The Rivers Emancipation Movement has come to be a third force to mobilize Rivers people, to seek for support from lovers of democracy, civil society, and international community to liberate Rivers State from this dictatorial and military regime that has been imposed in Rivers State. So this election, as far as Rivers people are concerned, are a charade.
I would like Honorable Ordu to respond to that. Particularly, I mean, there are several issues that Mr. Tamunotonye had raised, but I want you to speak to the 90-day election notice of election by RSIEC, especially because this was an issue that was highlighted in 2024 when Governor Siminalayi Fubara had conducted the local government elections. Then that was also an issue that came up. So I'd like you to respond to that.
Sorry, I didn't get you. I didn't get your last statement.
I was saying that Mr. Tamunotonye has raised several issues, and I'd like you to respond, but I also want to focus on one of the issues.
No, he's the one talking, not me.
Yeah, he has. Okay, all right.
Okay,
no, I'm not speaking with you. I'm not speaking with you, Mr. Tamunotonye. The floor is for Honorable Ordu. I want him to respond to what you have said. And if you heard me, Honorable Ordu, I want you to not just respond to him, but to also speak about the 90-day notice, which was a core issue in 2024 when Governor Sim Fubara had conducted the local government elections. That's another issue that has been brought up again in 2025, saying that RSIEC also did not, uphold the 90-day notice. So please speak to that.
Yeah, thank you very much. First and foremost, when we come out to speak like this, let us remember yesterday, today, and if possible, tomorrow, because that will help you to speak and speak reasonably. What he had just said now has touched on the legality of the elections. I'll refer you to the Constitution, the 1999 Constitution as amended, section 305, sub 3C, and I read, there is actually, this section talks about the imposition of or the declaration of state of emergency, and section 305 3C says there is actual breakdown of public order and public safety in the federation or any part thereof to such extent as to require extraordinary measures to restore peace and sanity. The idea of the state of emergency is constitutional. 2, the actions of the president to return peace to Rivers State is constitutional as well. The president went further to now propagate an executive order that was gazetted and sent to the National Assembly to minimize these days, because you see, not only that they declared state of emergency in Rivers State, they declared it because they wanted to bring peace. And in the process of bringing peace, assuming that the governor comes back, we will go back to some form of challenges, back and front and all of that. And they decided that let us go to the National Assembly and seek their views and their support to conduct local government elections, seeing that this will be an imminent danger. Therefore, the National Assembly approved, and to even crown it all, they did not use the Rivers man, because Rivers people will begin to say he is Nyesom Wike's camp, he is Governor Fubara's camp. They refused to use that, and they decided to use an outsider, which is a neutral camp. I don't know, these people should sit down and look at processes before they come to speak, not because you hate a system. You decide to talk without facts to back you up or back up your views. All of what happened is constitutional. The point is that they don't want to be silent. They don't want Rivers State to move forward. They don't want peace in Rivers State. No election in Rivers State has been this peaceful. No election. Not even the 5th October 2024 election. They almost tore Rivers State apart. I don't know why people don't like peace.
The question, I mean, I don't know that, except I missed it. I want you to still speak about this current election. They didn't meet the 90 days notice.
That is what I'm telling you. I said the Constitution has given the powers to the president to do anything.
No.
Possible.
What you made reference to is emergency rule. Okay.
The 90 days was gazetted and it was suspended. That section of the Constitution was suspended. If you heard what I said, when I said something about a gazetted suspension of the Constitution to enable them conduct election within this 30 days and then hand over to the governor on September 18 when he comes in, so that there will be less problem in the state.
So may I ask, I mean, there are those who have raised concerns about the fact that these elections seem to have been done in a hurry. Yes, you speak about setting the Constitution aside, the gazetting and all, but there are those who say, why did he not wait? Why did they not wait for the governor, the executive governor of the state, to come back into office and then conduct an election for the local government? At the end of the day, local government elections, they are part of the democratic process of getting these leaders to represent their different, their different local governments. So why did the governors, or why did the states not wait? Why did the federal government not wait till the 18th of September for Governor Sim Fubara to be reinstated as governor and then carry out his democratic responsibility of conducting the local government elections?
If you will recall, the reason for declaring the state of emergency is because of the political impasse in the state and all of the actions taken by the president and in collaboration with the National Assembly is to bring peace. Even when he swore in the administrator, the Rivers State administrator, all the charges to him was to bring peace. And because of this, it has made even the administrator not to act in full capacity as a governor. All his effort is just to bring peace. So whatever actions that they did, including abridging and suspending subsections of the Constitution, were things they have looked at and seen that these are solutions to all of the problems that has endeavored the state. So these are actions that are needed to be taken to be able to ensure that Rivers State is freed once again.
Thank you so much.
Final thoughts?
Collins Ordu.
Yeah.
But I'd like Mr. Tamunotonye to take the final thoughts. If you can, in less than a minute, please. What are your expectations from the return of the elected governor of Rivers State, Governor Siminalayi Fubara? Do you think all will be well with Rivers State, as he's expected to return anytime soon, in the next few weeks?
Our time is fast spent. If not, I would like to address some of the issues he has raised. But I would also say, like I said, when a man loses his conscience and shame, he goes on the street like a dog that even meets with his mother. That's what is happening here. My friend and brother here have diverted attention to be telling us Section 105. Now, he said the president suspended the Constitution. how can you suspend a constitution from where you are deriving power to exercise? That is a contradiction. The section 305 is very clear. The powers given to the president are very clear. Now he's talking about reasons why the president invoked the emergency rule. Are those conditions there in Rivers State? As of the material time the president invoked emergency rule, there were no security concern. The Supreme Court just gave judgment. The governor came and announced that he's going to abide by the judgment. And if there are still issues that the House of Assembly decided that they will still go ahead to impeach the governor, the president and the minister, if they have the interests of Rivers people and democracy at heart, they would have allowed the process to just go through. Heaven will not fall, like the former governor said, the minister said. If the governor is impeached, the governor knows his right, he can go to court and seek for readdress. Everything will happen within a democratic process. But the president, the minister have seen that they will not succeed because the people are with the governor. They saw that they will not succeed because of the support of the people to the governor. They now came up with this emergency rule. Now, to answer your question, what is the governor coming back to do? When all his powers have been stripped, when all the actions that political appointment to political offices for governance purposes, appointment to universities, to boards, to ministries, everything has been done, including local government election, for which the governor will have direct political access to govern the state, has been stripped and taken away from him. What is he coming to do? So what kind of peace they have entered to, because the former governor and the suspended governor have refused to address Rivers people on the kind of peace they have entered into. But from the look of things, it is obvious that it is not for the interests of Rivers people. And that's why the Rivers Emancipation Movement will come up. When the governor comes back, we'll look at things and we'll take the necessary action. We will come with the full weight of the law to defend our mandate we have given the governor, to defend our will and to liberate our state from these people that want to impose themselves on Rivers State because of 2027.
Have to go at this time. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your time. Honorable Collins Ordu and Mr. Zoe Tamunotonye. It was a pleasure speaking with you this morning. Thank you.
And all the best to Rivers State.